So now that we're a couple days removed from the Victor Wembanyama and Scoot Henderson games, I've been able to kind of gather all my thoughts on what I saw and what I watched. And I think the biggest takeaway is that Victor Wembanyama he's going to be the number one pick, like pending any injury he sustains this year, which I obviously hope doesn't happen. Scoot's going to be number 2, and that these two guys are really, really, really good. But some of the things that I noticed was everyone is always talking about Victor Wembanyama's defensive abilities, but they're always talking about his defensive abilities, but they're never talking about what he can bring on offense. Obviously they talked about how he can move like a guard at being, 7'4". He's listed at 7'3", but with shoes on, he's 7'4", maybe even 7'5", depending on what shoes he decides to wear. So, you have someone who's 7'5", going to be one of the tallest guys in NBA history, is able to bring the ball up the floor and initiate a team's offense. Well, what I saw a lot of was a lot of Kobe influence when he does he catches it on the baseline, and then he'll do a jab step, rip through, jab, pull up, and it looks good every single time that he does it. Every time he does it, I think it's going in. He can spot up for the 3, and then every time he drives, he's looking to dunk it, and it's not like it's hard for him to dunk. He's right there, and all he pretty much has to do is drop the ball into the basket. Now, when it comes to Scoot Henderson, Scoot, he has a lot of, I see four players that he reminds me of, a lot of. One is the obvious that he's been getting is Derrick Rose. I see it. I don't know if that's a great comparison, but I see it. 2, I see Ja Morant in the way that he's just go, and he's attacking the rim. 3 is Russell Westbrook, and reason I say Russell Westbrook is because he's always looking to dunk the ball. Every time he drove, and I watched his highlight tape from last year. He's trying to dunk the ball every time he drives. So that's something that reminds me of Russell Westbrook, especially early Russell Westbrook. And the 4th player is John Wall. And the reason I say John Wall is because Scoot's ability to get his teammates involved is very underrated. Watching those 2 games with Victor Wembanyama's Metropolitan 93 team and the G League Ignite, Scoot is setting up his teammates a lot of the time. And he's a really good playmaker, and I don't think it's being talked about enough. He's also a really good rebounder, which kind of goes back to the Russell Westbrook comparison. But, yeah, these 2 guys are going to be great. I'm so excited for this year's draft, not just because of Victor and Scoot. There's so many guys, especially in the lottery, that could be so good and could be franchise-type players that I'm so excited. But, yeah, I've been able to, gather my thoughts on those games, and that's what I saw. I think the biggest thought that I had, and I wrote it down, is that, and I was telling my friend about it, is that Victor is definitely the more intriguing prospect. It's if you have the number 1 pick, you should take him. I agree, you should take him at number 1. But Scoot is definitely the more polished prospect, and he looks a lot more NBA ready. So if I had the number 1 pick, I'd take Victor. But if you have the number 2 pick, you're not going to be upset that you end up with Scoot. You're still going to be all right, we got a guy.